Snezhana Paderina. I'm a fashion and wearable technology designer. I create clothing using high technologies.
Who or what introduced you to the world of wearable technology?
I discovered wearable technology for myself very surprisingly, I would say. Because, just imagine, I was a programmer, but then I decided to completely change my career into fashion design, which is completely different. And I did it, but of course I always had some kind of doubts. And going towards the end of my IT career, I just realized that as an artist, I'm not fulfilled, and I don't feel like I want to dedicate my life to IT career. And at some point, after a few years, it just clicked that I can use all my expertise and technologies that I'm still interested in, but in fashion. I think in Russia we have amazing technical schools, engineering schools. We have a lot of programmers. When I was 9 years old, I watched The Matrix, Keanu Reeves.
Blue pill,
and I always wanted to be a programmer, so I went into programming school and information security, but then I went into fashion. The programmers, they have to educate themselves all the time. So it's because the technology moves so fast that they have to learn new products, new software all the time. And this constant learning, I still use it.
So what was the goal in coming to Parsons? Because you're still a student, but what is the ultimate goal that you had in mind coming to Parsons?
I wanted to learn the design process, because one thing that as an upcoming designer in the very, very beginning of your career, you have some idea of what garments you want to create. You have some idea of your perfect collection, but you have to be able to produce new collection every year. So I wanted to learn how to use all the inspiration around me and actually channel it into design. I love cyberpunk, sci-fi, William Gibson's works. I collect art from Mass Effect, art books, and all the environment paintings, characters, different races from different planets. And I think that fashion and building a fashion brand is building a story, it's building your own little world. And I think that's what makes fashion brands unique. It was just 3 or 4 years ago, and during that time 3D printing and fashion just exploded. Iris van Herpen, Francis Bittanti, Alexis Walsh, amazing designers. And everyone has engineering background.
Oh, wow.
So 3D printing, it's a technology of additive manufacturing where machines create 3D dimensional objects layer by layer based on computer model. And it's fascinating because I digitally sculpt models. Again, 3D modeling is the process of creating a 3D model, which is digital representation. It's like a painting, but it's in 3D. It feels like photography and filmmaking because digitally you put up lights and materials. You create the final illustration, I would say, the final image of your model. And for me, the big part of design process that first I create 3D renders. So it's purely visual material. And then I design clothing based on my own 3D renders.
Right.
You can see here, this is a grid of 3D model, and it's menswear piece. So it replicates the man's body. So here you can see the chest lines and waist. So for me, it's something that I work with always, 3D models, 3D modeling. As a continuation of this theme of muse that lives in a virtual reality versus real world, this is the last piece of the intimate decipherment collection with this muse itself. So her world made out of water and glass. And here you can see water. I rendered it using a real physics engine. So this engine replicates the real physics properties of different materials. So this is real water and glass. In this piece, she becomes physical, like she gains her physical body and she comes out of the garment. I feel there are two different distinct directions in wearable tech. One is implementing electronics in garments and very heavy technology approach. And another one just using technology to manufacture garments. In my collection, I use technology mostly to manufacture it. I use 3D modeling, silicone casting, 3D printing, but when you look at my garments, you don't notice it as a piece of electronics. Innovation is what moves the society forward, and I find it's very interesting in my field, which is fashion and technology, that actually artists move innovation forward. Even though engineers and scientists, people that are actually make it happen, the artists are the people who create the demand for innovation.